And so the last section in chapter 4 is on proportions. So what is a proportion? A proportion measures the fraction of a group that possesses some characteristic. So probably about what you thought it would be. I mean, it has to be some type of fraction, and it measures some characteristic. Not too terribly complicated concept. Like if I was to say that a third of this class was absent today, that would be a proportion. All right. Your book goes through an example and says, suppose your statistics class is composed of 48 students, of which four are left-handed. So let's say we had 48 students in our class, and 4 of those students were left-handed. What proportion of the class then would be left-handed? So, you can think about, of those 48, everyone that is left-handed would be one that we would count. Everyone that's not left-handed would be one that we wouldn't count. There's no really hard way to, make this problem impossible. I don't know why somebody would try to make it impossible, but the only thing you would want to do is, if there was a list of maybe right and left, you want to count how many were left-handed, which we already know, and then you can simplify the fraction, so that will be 1 over 12. And even a proportion sometimes isn't left as a fraction. So you could divide that. If you divide that, you'll get 0.083. But we had to use a fraction to get to that proportion. So the proportion was a fraction, we changed it to a decimal. All right. With a lot of people probably in here playing sports, or maybe you have, maybe you're playing softball now. The next example is about softball. So let's take a look at that. Suppose you've been playing softball and have kept records on each plate appearance. According to your records, you've batted 216 times. Of those 216 plate appearances, you've walked 24 times, gotten on base by a fielding error 7 times, and reached base on a hit 64 times. Let's compute your batting average, which is a proportion. The batting average is the proportion of times you reached base on a hit, excluding walks and errors. In this case, the number of in the group of at-bats we will consider is 216 and minus the walks, minus the errors. So you have 185 at-bats. Okay? So if we have 185 at-bats, our proportion P is going to be how many hits we had, 64, over the number of at-bats, 185. Alright, and so then usually with batting averages you would round that to 3 decimal places, because if you watch any baseball or softball, that's usually what it's rounded to. So you can say 64 divided by 185, round that to 3 decimal places, and you get 0.346. So proportions are pretty easy. It's part over total in some way, and then if the problem does ask, change it to a percentage. Not a percentage, but a decimal, or leave it as a fraction, depending on what the problem asks for. And that finishes up chapter 4.